Hi guys, welcome back. It's great to see you back and we're ready to go for another episode. And yeah, it's super to be back and recording this new episode for you in this amazing series, which I've ultimately chosen to call Get Inspired, Stay Inspired. So yeah, welcome back. And I'm doing my best to reconnect and to keep some type of continuity going for you, or between us both. But great, I'm glad that you're back, and I'm feeling good. Hope you're feeling good today. And if you're new, welcome. And yeah, feel free to subscribe and be a part of this little family that we've got going, and this little kind of little group, a little soulful group, I would say, that has allowed us to journey together. I've been journeying with you, sharing my channeled writings and inspirational wisdom, and you've been journeying along with me, giving me support, and also just sharing bits and bobs about how you're doing and how things are going on in life for you. So it's always a joy to receive feedback, and definitely to receive your comments on how you're going and how you're kind of integrating what I've been able to share with you throughout the days and weeks. And hopefully a lot of it is beginning to sink in for you, and a lot of it is beginning to make sense, and that's kind of all I ask. As I said, doesn't have to be leaps and bounds. You can take your time over this, but you should slowly begin to see yourself transitioning from who you are now into who you can become, or who you may surely be destined to be. So yeah, we're all we're not stationary, we're all kind of transitioning. Oh, I like to use that word, don't I? Yeah, it's like we're all transitioning and evolving as part of this series. And as I've said to you, no one is evolving more so than I am doing this series. And if you're with me and you're a part of it, then hopefully you're evolving too. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to know from you guys. And if that's happening, it doesn't have to be, as I said, anything major. But if it's happening, even in your own little way, then, my hat's off to you. And I applaud you for sticking with it and coming this far. Now, yeah, like, I've had a great week. I hope you have. Just come off the back of a nice weekend, and yes, I hope that you are feeling good. As I've always said, if you're not feeling good, then hopefully this episode is going to uplift you, and if you are feeling good, still join me and still kind of follow along, because you know what, you're going to feel even better at the end of it, and that's what I also want to see. So yeah, we're holding hands, we're journeying together, we're walking the same path, and although we are going to diverge in different directions along this path, what's important is that we support each other and help each other get through no matter what. So that's an amazing place to be. And yeah, as I've always mentioned before, I'm really looking forward to the time when we can do some live streams, and I can be on a live stream with you guys and helping you, supporting you live. And maybe if all goes well and I get enough subscribers, then that will become a reality much sooner than I thought, or much sooner than later. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, so keep sharing, keep, telling your friends and families, keep telling everyone brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, uncles, aunts. Tell them all and let them be a part of this amazing family. And yeah, you're all welcome, of course. So, yes, today I've chosen an interesting passage to share with you. Again, this is one of my passages taken from the Inspirational Photo Quotes for the Soul series, which I will definitely have uploaded at least one. I've actually done 3, which I'm kind of drawing material from to talk with you, to start as a standing or a grounding point from which we then verge off. And as I've always mentioned, all my writings are basically the basis of what I draw my knowledge and wisdom from. And recently it's almost felt like once I get going and I start kind of reflecting and analysing a particular passage, more and more comes through to me about it, you know, stuff that I hadn't, you know, written, in terms of the fact that, you know, hadn't written for the reflection or the insight. But as I go along, more things come through to share with you as part of the video series. It makes it exciting, because even if you feel, oh, I've read that or I've been through that, what I'm going to share with you in the series, whether you're listening or watching, is going to be more, is going to have more value, you know. Or so if you say, I read that as part of the photo quote series, it doesn't matter, because what I'm going through is going to be far, far deeper than what I've written in the series. And that's why I'm definitely getting excited about engaging one-on-one. It feels like one-on-one anyway, but it may be more than one-on-one. It may be 1 versus several hundred, or, you know, whatever the number is by now. But definitely I feel that, to me, it's almost like whoever's watching or listening, I feel like I'm having a one-on-one with you, so to speak. So that enthralls me. It really does, really makes me feel happy, because as I always say when I reflect on things, this work has to be taught by me rather than someone else. And I don't know what I was waiting for. I can't imagine what I was waiting for. But it took me a good while to realise I've got to teach this. I can't just write it, I have to teach it. You know, most authors write a book and then that's it. They've written their book, and, you know, you either read it or you don't read it. But with me, because of these channeled writings, and I had to make sense and meaning about them, and especially in my book The Soul Whisperer, I really had to get to grips with all the information that was come flooding through, and I had to define it and put it into order. As I've mentioned before, it was like a jigsaw puzzle. It really was. But then things started to make sense. You know, when you look at things, you know, have you ever watched that film, The Da Vinci Code? It was a little bit like that. I just couldn't place things and put things together. And then things started to kind of unravel and piece together. And I really, really started to understand the material and the content. So as I grew to understand it more, I kind of thought, yes, let me share it in a written form, my understandings. But, you know, even The Soul Whisperer, in its raw format, not everybody finds it easy to get it. It can be a bit hard to assimilate and apply. So I thought, let me rewrite it. Let me do it in a simplified form, not detracting from the genuine rawness of what came through, but just kind of leveling it out so that people find it easy to understand and take in. And that's what this series is also going to do. It's going to simplify it, you know, with me talking you through various aspects of my teachings, and those kind of simplified forms are also going to be reflected in the new version of The Soul Whisperer. So, you know, depending on what person you are, you might like the old original version, or If you want things very simplified and straightforward, then you may love the next edition that I'll be bringing out, which will be the simplified edition. And you know what I love about the simplified edition? It's got little diagrams and things like that. So it's like not all of it will be left to your imagination. I've put some little diagrams in there so that it will help you really kind of get a clear picture. I could, I suppose, go and put them back in the original version, but I don't know. I feel the simplified version, I'll probably call it the Soul Whisperer Simplified or something like that, or something. I'll call it something so people know that this is the simple version, you know, and this is the more raw version. But some people like the raw stuff, they, you know, because they feel it's more authentic, more of an original channeled version. So some people love that kind of raw format, even though it's not, you know, sort of simplified for you. You are left to work it out, not work it out totally for yourself. Definitely I say what I, you know, what I mean, but you know, it's more of a raw format where some people say, I want it simple, I want it quick, I want it, you know, what are the main things? And in a way, that's what this version will be. But I'm not quite sure what, maybe I'll call it just a new edition. Maybe I shouldn't say simplified format. I don't know. You tell me whether I should say simplified format, new edition, or tell me what you think I should have. You know, should it be the Soul Whisperer version 2? Should it be, you guys tell me, you know more about these things than I do. You know, I just make sure that the content is there and I can write it down. Oh dear, right, sorry, enough about that. Let me get on to the first passage. And obviously, because we were chatting so much, I kind of lost my place, but I found it again. So now we can get on with it. Okay, so today's passage, this is what it says. An awareness of who and what I am gives me the clarity and peace of mind to move effortlessly toward my chosen goals. Now, the first thing I'm going to say to you guys is, if you haven't got any chosen goals, you need to go and get some. You need to go and ponder the kind of idea that you need some goals in your life. Now, you may have had goals which you may never have reached. You may have had goals which you reached, but then you never set new goals. You may have goals that you are working towards already, but you may feel as if you're not reaching them, or you may have no goals at all. And, you know, it doesn't matter where you are in terms of this kind of goals, because goals can be created today. They can be created tomorrow. It's not as if you don't have any goals, that the end of the world is nigh. No, no, no. You can make goals at any time. And today is just a good day as any to make some goals. Now, what you want to do is, I mean, I'm kind of working my way backward because the last thing it said towards your chosen goals. But before we go into how to achieve those goals, I need to talk about making goals so that you have goals to work towards if you haven't done so already. Now, just to confess, I had a lot of goals, but they were all in my head. And that was okay. It wasn't a bad thing to be doing. But on the other hand, it wasn't a good thing to be doing, because you know the power of writing things down. I should know that, shouldn't I? Because I write things all the time. But my goals, I was slacking on. They were in my head, and I thought that's good enough. I know what I need to achieve. I know what I want. I know what I'm headed for. But what happens is if you do have goals in that way, or you do have goals in your head, it is important to write them down, because, guess what? you kind of edge off into namby-pamby world, and before you know it, your goals have dwindled away, or they've kind of become so flexible, they're no longer goals anymore. They're just things you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So you need like goals written down. That, you know, and I must admit that the minute I wrote everything down in terms of the goals, what I wanted to achieve, what I wanted to do, where I was taking my writing, what kind of things I was trying to work on beyond just the writing and develop. Wow, I started to get really blown away by the whole progression of where I was going to be taking this work. And, you know, to the point where I thought, you know what, I love to do a nap. I'd love to do something about mindfulness, but on a soulful level, or soulfulness. That's a nice word, isn't it? Soulfulness. You know, something in that vein in terms of an app, written material. I thought, yes, I'm going to teach this. I'm going to train it. I'm going to put material together to help people, you know, follow along, make things easy. And that's how this whole thing of, you know, simplifying things, you know, the Soul Whisperer took me a long time to write. To think that I was going to go through it all again and simplify it was like a big step. But I thought I need to rework things so that it's simple for people. So here I am. So in terms of goals, you know, try to set them and write them down. And this is a key thing. Be flexible, okay? Understand that your goals are evolving as you're evolving. You know, if I sort of jump back to 5 years ago, I didn't have the greater vision that I have now. I had a vision of certain goals at those times, but as you evolve as a person, which I found, my goals began to evolve as well. And so is my vision in terms of what I want to do and achieve for the future. So you may find, even if it's a small goal now, it can expand. Be flexible. Don't be rigid. You know, see your goals as important and write them down. Even if they're in a simplified version, that doesn't matter. Because guess what? You're going to build on it. You're going to grow. You're going to evolve. And so will your goals as well. So that's a good place to start with your goals. Now, the passage says, working towards your chosen goals. That's why I kind of said, let's make some goals if you haven't got any. Let's go back to the beginning of the passage. An awareness of who and what I am. Now, what I believe this passage is saying to us is you have to become aware of who and what you are. That is so crucial to knowing how you're going to define your goals of the future. Because not having an awareness of who and what you are is going to mean that your goals are going to be maybe very superficial ones. You want them to be insightful. You want them to have inner power and strength. And you want the soul support as part of the process of creating these goals. Do you know what I mean? Like when I say goals, these are going to be deeper goals. These are going to be not just sort of superficial goals that you might set. These are going to be deep, soulful goals. And why do you want them to be soulful goals? Because your soul knows who and what you are. You need to tap into or tune into that, and you need to align yourself with what I call the universal knowledge that your soul has to share. You need to align yourself with that knowledge because you want to tap in to the soul's direction and purpose. You know, fair enough, it's part of you and it's journeying with you. But what does it have in mind for you? I guess that's a good way to put it, isn't it? What does your soul have in mind for you? You may know, okay, I have this in mind for myself, but you want to tap in and say, you know, on a soulful level, are we on the same page? You know, am I trying to be a scientist when you should be being, say, a healer? Are you working in alignment on a soulful level with what the soul knows you are destined to do or become? And are you marrying that or matching it on the physical side of your life's journey, so you and your soul are on the same page? Do you get what I mean by that? You know, you can have ideas that you've put in your mind and you've put in your head about who and what you are and what you should be doing, and maybe they match. You've known this from a child. You've known you've had this ability or, you know, gift, or you kind of knew from a very young age that you wanted to be and do something. You know, normally those kind of wishes when you're a child tend to be your truthful path, because you haven't been in the physical world that long, and it's almost as if you're more linked in with your soul, and you kind of know things you know as a child that you want to be and want to achieve often are the real goals and destinies you should have nurtured. But life came along and, you know, this happened, that happened, and you didn't nurture them. So, you know, it's important that you find an awareness of who and what you are. Now, why do you need to do that? Or why do you need to find that awareness or have that awareness? Because it's going to give you clarity, you know. And I've always said to you, the soul is always clear about what you should be doing and where you're going and who you are, okay? But if you don't attune yourself to it and you align yourself with the physical and the mind, okay, you can get misconstrued on the clarity that you actually need on a soulful level to achieve your goals, your ambitions, your life's purpose, your universal mission, as I call it, a universal mission, as opposed to your physical mission. You see, in my book, there was this constant parallel between the universal aspect of your nature and being and the physical aspect of your nature and being. And there's important information in there about how this balances out. And the soul is crucial to providing that balance, because if you veer too much into the physical, you lose sight of what your true origins are and what your true universal destiny is. And if you veer, do you know what I mean, one way or the other too much, you get an imbalance. So the soul, or your connection, your link with the soul, your unity with your soul, exists to provide you not just with the tools. You remember I spoke about tools before in the other episode, not just with the tools you're going to need for this journey, but also with the knowledge and wisdom to guide you and support you. Remember I've said that? That is key. So you need to keep that relationship going, because as you understand yourself, who and what you are on a soulful level, I'm not just talking about superficial stuff like, you know, my goal is to make sure I pick up, you know, my Cheerios at the supermarket. You know, we're talking deeper, deeper, deeper than that, okay? There's no harm in having a goal like that. We've all got to list out our daily goals, but this is going deeper. This is becoming aware of who and what you are, and working on that soulful connection to help you find that awareness, okay? Now, we talk about techniques and so on. We've talked a couple of them on throughout the episode, but this also says doing this, in other words, finding out more on a deeper level about who and what you are, will give you clarity, okay, and peace of mind. So to me, that means soulful clarity and peace in your mind, peace of mind. If you have soulful clarity, you then also have peace in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. So understanding yourself to give you further clarity on who and what you are, and to give you the peace of mind in the physical. It's like the clarity on a universal level, yes? The universal knowledge you need to give you clarity and peace of mind. Peace of mind is the peace you need in the physical realm, okay? Peace of mind in the physical realm. Having that lovely balance, okay, will help you move effortlessly towards your chosen goals. And again, these can be deeper goals, things you really do want and desire, but you ain't told anybody. Why? Because it's none of their business. This is the connection between you and your soul, and you and your life, and your life's journey. This is the deeper stuff that you need to bond with, you need to connect with, you need to tune into. And I've got some really great steps that I cover, okay, in my Soulful Pathway series, some really super steps to kind of take you through the whole process. But I think what I have to do is cover them, you know, bit by bit, you know, in a good structure. Now I just share them as I go along, relating to the passage that we're doing. But I could cover them kind of step by step, more deeper as we go along. I don't have a problem with that, you know. But it's also important that if you need support, if you need to lean on and or keep yourself inspired and so on, you know, you also can tap into other things. As I said, I've done loads of meditations. I'm uploading them at the moment. I'm a little bit slow because I have to do everything one by one. But they're done, they're ready, they're good to go. Just need to upload them. But if you're not sure, you know, you can even use these meditations, you know, they're soul-guided meditations that I've written to help guide you. And I do cover different subjects, but, you know, they are powerful enough to take you through the process, you know, on anything. And I'm bringing out more and more. That's what I would love to do. That's what I want to do. But that's, you know, why I'm now doing this video, podcast, you know, this whole series of inspirational work, so that you can kind of journey along and slowly get to know this information and get to understand it. But just to clarify some important things for you, okay, with this particular passage. Your chosen goals, work on that, okay? Because once you have that, that's good. But there's another aspect to it which just came to me, and I realised what this passage is also saying is that, you know, an awareness of who what you are, and that connection you build with your soul, and the knowledge and wisdom that it's going to bring you will give you clarity and peace of mind, because the two things balancing out will also give you clarity and peace of mind to work out what your goals are if you can't work them out for yourself. You know, like in the beginning I said, you know, try to have some goals to work to. But as we've gone along, I've realised the passage is also saying that, you know, if you can work on who you are, you're going to find new goals. You're going to be gifted on a soulful level, new challenges and new goals to work toward. That, as I said, just came to me literally a few minutes ago as we were talking. I thought, you know what? I started off saying you've got to have your chosen goals. Yes, you do. And that's great. But what I feel this passage is also saying now is once you've got your clarity and your peace of mind and the soulful balance, more goals are going to be gifted to you. These will be universal goals, as opposed to physical goals. So it's kind of gone even deeper. So I've expanded the whole thing. Because in a way, in the beginning, when we started, it was more about, you know, getting some goals together like I did, like, you know, when I was doing my Patreon, I had, yeah, this goal, that goal. But as we've gone along, I've realized that, guess what, guys? There's even more goals to come if you tap into all that knowledge and wisdom that is available to you. There's more goals to come. So I even feel excited because I now think, you know what? I set my goals down. I wrote them down. But guess what? I realize there's more powerful goals to come. It's not the end yet. So it's good we started with something. But what this passage is telling me now is we're going to be moving on into more things. So once you work on this, more goals are going to evolve. You are going to evolve. And more of what you need to tap into on a universal level is going to be evolving for you to help manifest in the physical as well. Okay? So I hope I didn't confuse you at the end there. Yeah, but you know, this stuff just came through and I thought I need to share this. Even though we spoke about the more kind of ordinary things at the beginning, I realized the passage is saying, I mean, literally, I realized that when we were talking about an awareness of what you are and being given clarity and the peace of mind to move effortlessly, I then realized to say, wow, you know what? Goals are going to be coming. More goals are going to be coming. More deeper goals are going to be coming, you know, as part of this process. So that's exciting. And, you know, now I'm really excited because I'm thinking, there are more goals to come for me and you especially, because if you haven't worked out your goals, guess what? You're not only going to have to work them out, but there'll be more to come. I guess that's the best way to put it. Wow. That's why I love doing this. Honestly, I told you about these writings that you can discover so much if you start to read them on a soulful level. And that's really what I want to encourage people to do. So they won't just, when they read my work, just read words. They'll actually say, what is this saying? What is it meaning? Because of the way it's been written, that's how I have to look at it and view it in order for me to say, I appreciate the origin of this material and what is it trying to share with me? Or what is it trying to share with me and you, the viewer, the listener, the company that I have as part of this journey? So that's why I always delve deeper. And that's why at times additional things come through to me. And it's happening more and more as we do each episode, that more deeper things are coming through to me that are not just surface level, but because the energy is so good, I kind of tap into the deeper meanings and I can share them with you as well. So yeah, that's great. Well, I've certainly overdone it this time. I've gone way beyond what I've ever gone before, but I'll definitely make it worth your while. Now, how I want to end off, stay positive. Keep that awareness of who and what you are going. How are you going to do that? Connect on a soulful level, a deeper level. Nobody has to know between you and me. No one else needs to know. Just you and your soul. And your soul can then share with you what it knows to help you. Okay? Gain clarity, gain peace of mind, and then move effortlessly towards your goals. And now I feel it's not just your chosen goals, but the goals that are yet to come. How about that? Okay, well, I better end off now. Don't forget, if you're new, to subscribe. If you like this stuff, stick a thumbs up and share with those you know and love if you want them to be a part of this journey and to join me and to be a part of this kind of soulful delving into things that we've been doing every week or on a weekly basis or you know, depending on when I get them out, to the best of my ability, weekly, let's say. Once I said daily, that's a bit too much, but at least weekly. And if you love what I do and you support me, head over to my Patreon page and, yeah, become a patron if you want to. I'd love that. You know, it's amazing to have support. So why would you want to be a patron? Simply to support me, to help me do this full time, so I don't have to do anything else. Just write, just inspire, just share more. Then I can do daily recordings, can't I? When I can do this full time, I can then do it daily. And obviously I try and catch up with all the things I have to do, which is, you know, the editing, the video, the this, the that, the that, the that. But who knows, once I get my Patreon building, I may be able to have a little team that can help me. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I can do more and we can get more out there to others. So I love your company. I'll be doing another episode soon. Hope you'll be joining me for that, okay? Love and light to you and have an amazing, wonderful day. Take care. Bye.